Hello and welcome! My name is Bames, and on this channel I enjoy focusing on religious literacy, the occult, and my experience with the church. Hit the bell if that's something you're into. My journey through Christian-based religion. My journey through Christianity wasn't always bad. I'll start off by crediting Pastor Laura. She was the first adult in my life to accept my gender nonconformity and atheism. Even through my angst, she handled me with grace and acceptance. There is a healthy form of Christianity that can really help people flourish. I'm glad she was my pastor. But to get to the point, I was an Awanas kid. I remember the first time I got in trouble at church. They told me I could pray to anything in heaven through God. Great idea, right? So my very heartbroken childhood self decided to pray to my late cat, Tiger. She let me do this only once. Only once. The next time I prayed to Tiger, she raised her voice in a stern tone. With a pointed finger, you need to stop. Something about disrespecting God, and then she shattered my worldview in an instant by telling me it wasn't possible to pray to my cat and I needed to accept he died. She then made me memorize the names/titles of every chapter in the Bible and recite it back to her. Don't get too excited though. I didn't not believe in God yet, I just didn't believe the adults preaching it to me anymore. My primary experience with conservative Christianity was with my grandmother. Depending on who she was around, she was a devout progressive Christian. But behind closed doors, living with her was torture, all due to her Christian fundamentalist worldview and narcissism. She always excused her abuse with the Bible. It makes sense though. She took the word of the Bible in full seriousness, as if the Bible were a literal text of history. Of course, unless she was around atheists out of the house, or discussing religion with me in public. It was a very confusing dynamic. At the end of the day, it was her God against me. She married a Roman Catholic and only went to church with him on holidays. Not without a fight though. She is xenophobic and believed her religion, the behind closed doors one, was the only way. I watched this destroy my grandfather over time. What of his last worries being, I'm terrified I won't see my family in heaven and God won't know who name is. This destroyed me over time too, seeing my father figure be beat down over time over religious views by the woman he loved the most. It got me deconstructing for real this time. I couldn't follow any God that created this reality in front of me. My journey through angsty atheism. I spent a lot of middle school tech class having heavy discussions with my lab neighbor about God. I forget his name, but he was really cool. We had differing opinions most of the time, but we asked each other the hard, thought-provoking questions in a manner that kept us going all class. Wasn't the case for everyone, as I had just discovered atheism. We all know the pipeline, lol. I was argumentative and filled with a sense of justice. But over time, I began to direct that sense of justice onto myself. This led to my gender deconstruction, which I never faced without crippling fear. It was simply too hard. More on that in another video. My journey through Scientology. In the pits of autoimmune encephalitis, my brain was washed with fire. I could have died. It all started with videos of success stories. They were a requirement to receive treatment. At this point in my life, there was a lot of risk and gambles to make. I blame no one but the Scientologists that took advantage of a vulnerable preteen. I don't know if any of y'all have seen the show Hannibal, but there's a bit where Will Graham gets autoimmune encephalitis and he gets manipulated into an entirely different person by Hannibal Lecter. Now I know this is fiction. I know. You don't gotta tell me. But that happened to me for real, dog. When I was the easiest to manipulate than I've ever been, Dr. Schubert from Schubert Natural Healthcare and Chiropractic took my autonomy away. Next thing I knew, I was an experiment. Trying anything and everything to relieve my suffering, they promised me it would help. As I got sicker, I became in denial of my illness, a common symptom of my type of autoimmune encephalitis. Dr. Schubert made the decision that it was then all in my head, and I needed auditing. What is auditing? I'm not gonna get too into that. Ironically enough, auditing is the Scientologist version of therapy. It's ironic because the only mental health intervention they believe in is their own. But I will say this. There I was in the door of the Church of Scientology thinking to myself, how the hell did I end up here? But I gave in, again. I gave them the benefit of the doubt. I needed relief. I started hallucinating. Bugs, shadows, sounds, and light. I began to dissociate. They jumped into action. The 5-4-3-2-1 anti-anxiety relief technique. I tried my best and began stumbling with word salad. They yelled and kicked me out. My current journey. I'm an atheist, but I believe in the phenomenon of God put forth by the collective energy of those who believe. Goodbye.